I wanted to go over the key differences, the meat and potato of the S24, S25, S26 Ultra phones. Okay, and when you look here, okay, it gives you the phone model and then the category. So the processor, okay, on the S24, if you look here, the S24 Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, right? If you look at the S25 Ultra, you got the Snapdragon 8 Elite, probably a 4, I think it is. And when you come over here to the S26 Ultra, you get the 8 Gen 5. So it goes up significantly. I think what happened with the S25, the Snapdragon 8 was the same as the S24 Ultra, and they just overclocked it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 95% what I'm talking about. When you get to CPU speed, you can see here 3.39 gigahertz. And then when you get to the actual S25 Ultra, that's why they're saying, you know, here it's a 4.47 gigahertz approximately, because it kind of, you know, overclocks on the fly a little bit. And then when you get to the actual here, S26 Ultra, it's 20% faster than the S25 Ultra. That's insane. That is a lot of power. So when you get down here to the AI, you know, standards here, you got a standard AI on the S24 Ultra. It's a standard version here, which is pretty much just the basic version here. When you get into the S25 Ultra, it's quite a speed boost. If you look at the specs here, you see what it says here. And then when you get to the S26 Ultra, you get it's 39% improved over the S25 Ultra, and that's a lot. When you get into the RAM is really important. When you do like a trifecta of the RAM and the processor speed and an unlocked version from like Samsung, you have a speed monster. Okay, so when you have the S24, it's 12 gig of RAM. When you get into the S25, it was a 12 gigabyte standard version, and the 16 gigabyte version was only in the 1 terabyte model. The same thing when you look over here on the S26 Ultra, it's got a 12 gigabyte standard version, and then the 16 gigabyte is only in the 1 terabyte model. And that's how it's always been. But like I said, when you put those together, the unlocked phone, so it doesn't have all that bloatware and all the trash in there, and you get the 1 terabyte model unlocked, like I just said, because it has a little more RAM in it, and you're not doing the boost RAM. It actually has real RAM in there. That's why the phone costs so much more money. It's just a monster, and it doesn't seem like much, but I am telling you, if you were to spend the extra like maybe $250 to buy the unlocked phone from Samsung in the 12 gigabyte memory, 1 terabyte storage variant, you will be very happy. Trust me. Save your money and get that phone. And when you get to the cooling, S24 Ultra, standard. That's not bad. You get to the S25, it's 40% larger vapor chamber. And it has to be. They want to keep these phones cool. And the thing about cooling in your phone, your device, is the cooler that the actual phone runs, okay, the faster clock speeds you're going to have. Heat equals decrease in speed. Heat destroys phones. And when your phone gets hot, it does dumb stuff. It slows down. It just has problems, all right? So if you keep your phone cool, you're cool. And right here on the S26, what they say right here, if you look at it, it's a redesigned vapor chamber. And I'm really looking forward to a teardown of the S26 Ultra. I know it's not going to be looking any different than these other phones, but it's just going to be exciting to see the inside of an S26 Ultra. Now, there's a couple things like, the camera. I'm not impressed with the camera. The little tiny increases. not a big deal. I'm not really, a hair bit wider, a little bit of AI function. Yeah, whatever. Great, great. Samsung, thanks a lot for screwing that up. And the S Pen, well, I hate to tell you, it's a weird beast on the S26 Ultra. It can go in backwards. It's got a slant to it. There's no Bluetooth functionality whatsoever. It's a very basic, and it's actually a lot thinner, which is really interesting. What else are we going to get into? Oh yeah, none of these versions in the S26 lineup, the Ultra or any of those, is now not titanium, and I repeat, not. It's aluminum. The phone that is going to be, and they're not going to have the orange color because Apple basically has pretty much the same thing. And I'm not really a big fan now of Samsung anymore because, if you look at the S26 Ultra, what they're doing is they're basically making it look exactly like an Apple phone, because Apple makes a lot of the parts for Apple. Processor, screen, all kinds of stuff. Well, not this most recent processor released. Anyway, so Samsung is making their phones look exactly like the curves and everything, and I mean exactly like an Apple phone. F off, Sam Apple. Whatever. I'm not impressed anymore whatsoever. The S24 Ultra was the last of the best. The last of the best from Samsung. And you can get 1 terabyte, 16 gig RAM device unlocked from Samsung. Actually, no, you can't. I'm looking here and on my other phone, and no, you can't. You'd have to find it online somewhere. They're not selling it anymore. But if you did, it's one hell of a phone. On top of that, anyway, so going back to making it look like Apple, so is the software. If you notice, the software is looking just like it's moving towards operating and functionality just like Apple, which is a bunch of what. And another shocker you're going to see in the next year or two is I've read plenty of technology science articles about what's coming up in the future for these phones. And you're going to be shocked to hear that what is going on is that they're going to start to go away from the actual programs in your phone. The AI is going to know you so good, so well, that you can just wake up in the morning and pick up your phone. It'll actually have already searched everything that you like on Google and lay it out for you. All the stuff will be on your front page. It'll be like one screen, full of everything on there, just like a news page with all kinds of stuff on there for you already. And you won't have to worry about programs overall in the actual software of the phone. If you noticed that the actual software, now the operating system, has been updated so many times in the last year, it's disgusting. Nobody wants that trash. I mean, you guys will see what I'm saying here in a year or two. You'll look back and be like, well, he was right about that stuff, man. But anyway, I hope this video helped you guys out. And if I were you, like I said, save a couple dollars and get the actual 16 gig, 1 terabyte storage model. You specifically want to go on Samsung and just get the unlocked version, because you can basically go from carrier to carrier to carrier. You can have 4 different carriers, 4 different SIM cards, 4 different phone numbers, and you could basically all day long pick and choose whatever SIM card you want to plug in there. You can have 4, 5, 6 numbers, whatever, how many service companies in your area. Or you can actually have, different numbers, like 10 different numbers with 10 different SIM cards, and you can just, pull them in and out of your phone all day long. Doesn't matter. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Hope that helped you guys out. A little bit of information that helped you out.